sliding in. A box. A little pouch inside the box. Who am I? Whose hands are these? No one knows. I'm gonna unzip. I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna look inside. It's a thing made of metal. Do I know what it is? Yes. It's a WPS Fox folder. Is this a button? Well, of course it is. I'm gonna hit deploy and bam. We are out. Sharp, black, beautiful blade. Get it for the holidays. Send it home to mama. Not for the faint of heart. Train hard, train smart. WarriorPoetSociety.com.
All right, what's happening, guys? One of the nastiest tricks that the establishment media plays on you, and also the big tech oligarchy plays on you, is to make you feel like you're all alone in terms of your values. I, for one, I'm traditional values. I'm a conservative. I believe in just one nation under God, First Amendment, Second Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom in general. I want smaller government. When the government is big, the person is small. So I want smaller government to interfere less and less with our lives so that we have freedoms to just do what you think is best. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's that kind of stuff that gets me up and gets me pumped up. I believe government manufactures problems, creates crises, and then steps into those crises with the wrong solutions to make our lives miserable while shaming us and saying that it's all our fault. I don't buy it, and I believe you don't either. But if you're like me, you probably feel very bullied, and you also feel isolated and alone. And I wanted to say, my friends, you're not alone. It can feel that way, especially as you just see the vast numbers, all the institutions stacked up against us. Of like, you got like big pharma, and then you got all the branches of government, the establishment media, then you got big tech and the social media giants, and then these massive woke corporations that are the largest corporations in the world. It used to be the S&P 500. Now it's like the S&P 7, and they're all super lefty. You look at Hollywood and all the institutions of power, you start to feel smaller and smaller and smaller as they're pushing it with one unified front, a certain set of values that's ideologically offensive and looks extremely evil to me, if I'm honest. I reject those values. I think they're evil. Some of you will disagree with me, and great. I'm not going to mandate or cancel you or fire you or bully you or harass you. None of it. I just want to be left alone. Yeah, I just want to be left alone. Quit bullying me. So right now I'm thinking about a person looking out across a plain and just seeing this massive army. And you know, oh wow, I am about to just get absolutely taken. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. There's no way I can defeat this army. And then somewhere off to your right, you hear the sound of a sword hitting a shield, right? And then all of a sudden to your left, you hear the echoing sound. And then a bunch of them gather in, and then you look right and you look left, and then you look behind you and you realize you have a whole army with you. And you can feel the ground shake under your feet, and you hear spears ringing in the air. You hear the sound of your numbers. There's a lot with you. And as you start to compare, you're like, I think there's more with me than there is against me. And that is the case. I'm using a metaphor, a warlike metaphor, because I believe we should be engaging in the war of ideas. We don't want civil war or anything like that. So again, I'm just using a metaphor here, but I'm saying, I believe though our institutions of power are stacked up against us, I do still think that we're in the majority. I think there's a lot of people out there that are displaced and bullied into silence. But if we could only feel our numbers, you'd realize we are not alone. You are far from alone. Millions and millions of Americans have traditional values just like you and don't want this new progressivism, which is progress in the wrong direction. They just want to be able to be left alone to live the life that they think they should be able to be living without government interference. All this last week, I felt our numbers at a Turning Point USA rally, AmeriFest 2021 in Phoenix, Arizona. I was privileged to be one of the speakers there on a panel talking about the wokeness pervading the United States military. I'll provide a link down to that coverage that Fox interviewed me for as well. So if you want to read on that, I'll let you do that. But the point is I felt our numbers. There was well over 10,000 people from all different ages, a whole bunch of college students and older folks and different races, and everyone just banding together because they love our country and they don't like the direction it's heading and they want their country back. But I felt our numbers in that huge arena, and I got to hear from some of the most noteworthy, patriotic voices in the world today. And some of them you may agree with, and some of them you disagree with, but we were all rallying together in one peaceful unification around just traditional values of First Amendment and Second Amendment and one nation under God. It was awesome. Tucker Carlson was there and he spoke, and Sebastian Gorka and Dennis Prager. I got to hang out with Madison Cawthorn, and there was Ted Cruz, and just a whole bunch of other folks there, dozens and dozens of heavy-hitting speakers, and it just absolutely blessed me. I thought it was so, so cool, but I felt our numbers, and I realized there is still great hope. As long as someone's willing to lift our flag high and not be offended by it, you know, there's still reason to hope and smile. There's still a whole army with us. And I do really think that there is more with us than against us. But the thing is, there was a theme that kept coming up at the Turning Point Conference over and over and over again. And that's how important courage is. Because right now we're bullied into silence, and you're probably extremely good people. If you're with us warrior poets, you're good people. You live for higher purpose. You're ready to sacrifice in the defense of others. You don't want to fight, but you surely do know how to end one. You're not wanting to shoot people, but you sure will shoot back. You know, you are a lover of people, right? You're a good person. And because you're a good person, oftentimes we let ourselves be bullied into silence in the war of ideas between our family and friends and neighbors and coworkers. Somebody just says something nuts and you're kind of like, I don't want to make a scene and hurt their feelings, and everyone's offended so easy because we're all made of glass in 2021 clown world. I don't want to offend anyone, and so you're just quiet. And what was really impressed upon me at this conference is you just can't afford to be silent any longer. You got to risk offending people, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers. So engage in the war of ideas wherever you can. I, for one, about 8-10 months ago, something snapped in me where I was just sick of it, and I went more on the offense. And now I'm talking to anyone that I can. I was just in the airport and I was eating cheese in slow motion because I didn't want to wear my Marxist face diaper anymore. I've already had Corona. I'm totally immune. Everyone attack me in the comments because I'm an idiot and I haven't done the science. I'm like, yeah, roger that. The whole point is leave me alone, man. I'm in this corner of the airport waiting on my plane, and I'm eating in slow motion, and some group of cowardly Karens went and told on me. So airport staff came up and I'm like, look, I have my cheat. Here's a clip from it. Hey, what's happening, YouTube? I am in an airport, and some group of cowardly, obnoxious Karens just took an airport employee and sicked him on us because we weren't wearing our masks. Now, I've been holding this cucumber for quite a while now. I'm eating in slow motion, and I'm here with some buddies. Here's my SEAL buddy. Yo, yo.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, this Chad Wright. We were just talking at Turning Point USA's AmeriFest. It was awesome. There's like 10,000 people there, right? Having a great time. And when this airport employee came up and started harassing us, I just distributed various pieces of cheese. Chad, do you still have your cheese?
I do.
Show everyone your cheese. See, there's his cheese.
That's lasted me about an hour now.
So when the Karens come, we just show you. Have you got your cheese? You got your cheese there. Everyone's got their cheese.
I had to get some new masks.
We got our cheese. Miss Poet here. She's been eating her cheese too. So anyway.
I don't eat cheese. I have pretzels.
Well, anyway, there's more to it, and every time I travel, my travel experiences are just filled with all these kind of stories. And I know what you guys, some of you guys who are just love your masks. You wear 3 masks and a face shield and all that stuff, and I get it. But yeah, as soon as I get on this plane, when I walk on, I'm gonna go ahead and put my Marxist face diaper on, and I'll be seated in there until we just take off. And as soon as those wheels come off, I'm gonna go back to Operation Eat Cheese in slow motion. The thing that makes us Americans, in the traditional and in the best sense, isn't that we agree on everything. Surely you don't agree with me on everything, and I'm not upset by that. I'm not going to force your compliance. I'm not going to force you into groupthink, right? And that's the American way, that we could disagree on stuff and still not cancel each other and hate each other. No one hates like the left. They hate everything. They're against everything that I value. And so let's not be like that. We deserve better than that, and we should be better than that, right? And so let's just agree to disagree when we disagree. But just understand, you guys who feel bullied and displaced, that have been canceled or censored, deplatformed, just know that you really aren't alone. The final chapter in American history has not been written. The story is still going. There's more with you than against you. I, for one, am ready to more and more aggressively engage in the war of ideas and take our country back through peaceful non-compliance. Do not comply. Through voting, through engaging with companies that share my values and not voting with my dollars for the companies that hate my values. Also by ensuring we're getting our news from good sources, not the old CNN, ABC, MSNBC. Tune out of that stuff. Turn it off forever. It's absolute propaganda crap. I like Daily Wire. I like The Blaze. I love Tucker Carlson. That guy's awesome. I love Gorka's America's First. Anyway, there's other places to get news, and I suggest that you do that and maybe go from a whole bunch of different sources and compare and contrast, because one difficulty I have is I just don't know who's telling me the truth. You know, who's lying and how much are they lying? And entertainment, don't send Hollywood your dollars anymore. If you could help us out on WPSN, we have a streaming service, shows, all kinds of stuff about to happen with that as well. Encourage you to check it out. Additionally, take your kids out of public school immediately. The state is indoctrinating them to an aggressive militant Marxism. You're going to lose your children to lefty values if you keep them in school. That's what's happening. So immediately take them out at whatever the cost. Get them out of public schools as fast as you can. Vote with your dollars, guys. Every single dollar you spend, you're giving it to institutions that either hate your values or love your values, or they'll at least live and let live with your values, and they just want your money. I can respect that. They want my money, but they don't hate me. You know, like, don't send your dollars to institutions and companies that despise you. So that would be a good start. But most importantly, speak. Politics is downstream of culture. We can change culture one conversation at a time. So make sure you're speaking out. You're not alone. Cowardice spreads, and it has been spreading rampantly. I look out and people are just fearful. But though cowardice spreads, so does courage. And if you were able to all of a sudden start rattling some sabers, other people around you would hear that noise, feel our numbers, and they would come alive as well. And so that's what I'm encouraging you to do, is speak out, feel our numbers, take courage, have hope, right, guys? Because you are not alone. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, comment down below, helps us with the algorithm. Subscribe, toggle notifications bell to all. Consider checking out something on our store. We have all kinds of stuff, and if you support our movement, we're good stewards of it, so we'd appreciate that. Also, check out our WPSN, our Warrior Poet Society app. Watch WPSN.com. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. Train hard, train smart. We'll see you next time.
I heard y'all wanted some more long-range shooting videos. Well, I'm back. My name's Ryan Kleckner, and I like talking about long-range shooting. In this series, we're going to cover some new topics for you. We're going to do things like shooting at angles and range estimation. I'm even going to take the time to break down my process I use when I get on a rifle to start shooting targets. We're going to talk about the environmental effects of the flight of the bullet on the way to the target, which is going to come in handy because we're here in northern New Mexico in the mountains at Quinlan Ranch, just a little over 8,000 feet right now, and we're going to see some differences. So before we get out there and stretch out to some far targets like a mile away, which we're going to do, before we do that, we need to go revisit some of the older topics and go gather some dope, see what's going on with the wind, and get a good baseline for our rifle and our ammo. I can't wait to get started. I'll see you out there.